ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय Ramakrishnaaya te namaha. My salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, who descended on this earth to establish the Dharma and who is the embodiment of all the world religions and who is the forerunner among the incarnations. Oh, peace, peace, peace. Dear devotees, as you all know, as we have already announced, today we will be discussing, or from today onwards, we will start discussing about Sri Ramakrishna and his divine play. For a few months, we did try to know Swami Vivekananda's lectures on Gnana Yoga and also practical Vedanta. So we were trying to discuss about what is the self, what is the consciousness, what is the nature of the world, and etc. etc. So, on the lighter side, from the knowledge, now we are turning towards so-called bhakti. So from knowledge, we are turning towards now the devotion. Sri Ramakrishna and his divine play. What does it mean actually? This is a book, an authoritative book written by one of his disciple, monastic disciple or direct disciple, that is Swami Shantivratananda. Now, why should we study this? Or what is the necessity of this studying Sri Ramakrishna Lila Prasanga? This is also quite interesting, which we have to understand. I think I had joined the monastery maybe just a year over, and I never knew that when Sri Ramakrishna left his mortal coil, he passed away, they had taken a photo of him or of his body. I never knew that in that particular time, because it is more or less it is banned. So it is not printed, and I didn't know that. Just I had joined, and 6 months or one year over, I was working in library, and the whole library we were revamping we were doing, and then we had introduced the computer. This is way back in 2000. So we had introduced computer, and we were trying to computerize the entire library. So I was being a library in charge, I was supposed to enter every book detail there. What is the title, author, translator, publisher, year of publishing, some keywords, and ISBN number if it is there. All these things I was supposed to enter. And while in the first or second page, we will get all the publisher and title details. And to enter keywords, I should know what is that book is. So to give few keywords, I used to randomly open few pages of every book, and I used to see, and whatever I was able to understand from the book, I used to enter the keywords. Similarly, I had taken an old Bengali book on Sri Ramakrishna. Fine. With the help of a person, then I started entering the title, the author, the publisher, and year of publishing over. Now I was supposed to give the keywords for that book. Then randomly I opened a page, and suddenly I saw Sri Ramakrishna's disciples along with Sri Ramakrishna's dead body, a photo. So that is the first time I saw Sri Ramakrishna's dead body. When I saw, I was in a rude shock, because we all read that Sri Ramakrishna was, gone very thin because he was not able to take food. He was not even gulping water, or even pudding or simple any liquid was also difficult. So he was reduced to just bone and skin. We had read his life, but I never anticipated in such a way. When I saw the dead body, my mind went into rude shock, and I closed the book, and I closed my eyes, and my mind went completely blank. The devotee who was sitting next to me, he started asking, Maharaj, what happened? Maharaj, are you okay? I said, please leave me for some time. I can't speak at anything with you now. He kept quiet. And first, initially for me, mind went blank for some time, few moments. Then afterwards, slowly, mind started working and mind started questioning, is this an incarnation? I have dedicated my life for an incarnation in his name, for Sri Ramakrishna. He is an incarnation and is a spiritual illuminary, is the foundation of spirituality we have read. He is that and is this we have heard, we have read. Now when we see his the body, when he left his mortal coil, when I saw that, it was nothing different from any probably a person, deceased person. Then how can I call him as an incarnation? How can I call him as a God? How can I dedicate my life in his on his name? So these were the questions started appearing in my mind, and it made me to rethink of Sri Ramakrishna and about my decision. Then evening there was a vespers time, so the bell was given. Then I closed the library and I went to temple. But these questions were lingering in my mind. Though I sat for evening vespers, and I mean, maybe I don't know externally I was singing or not, but my mind is thinking deeply. What is this? What is this? What is this? After some churning of my mind with the thoughts and ideas, slowly the ideas, I got it. What is that? Look, Avatara Purusha, the incarnation means it is not that he should be white in color, fair in color, or smart, or he should have six packs, and he should have some from Indian cultural ethos. He should have a crown and he should have some, what do you say, golden ornaments. He should have four hands with some weapons, or he should looking fair looking. Oh no. Why? Avatar or God, it is not only at the physical level, because physically he's well built and he looks smart, then he's an avatara, if not otherwise not. No. The concept of avatara or the God we have restricted to just physical body or just for a form. That's why this problem has come. So Sri Ramakrishna is much more than this. What is that? He stands for truth. He stands for divinity. He stands for that universal cosmic principles. Sri Ramakrishna is something else. He's called Satchidananda. So when these things, whatever I'd heard, read, and whatever, when these thoughts started coming, then slowly my mind started coming down, and I was able to accept Sri Ramakrishna after seeing the dead body. That was a time which made me to probably became whole the concept of avatara went upside down, and my understanding about Sri Ramakrishna, my understanding about God, my understanding about the incarnation, it went a big change. A simple one incident brought a big change in my mind to understand about the incarnation, to understand about the God. So same thing can happen for many of us. Interestingly, I think this happened in Brazil, I believe. A lady or a devotee lady, she belongs to, she's a Brazilian. She came to monastery and she brought her daughter also. She's quite young, probably 8 or 9, 10 years. She came, she entered chapel, and the mother said, "Look, Ramakrishna is the master, Ramakrishna whom we worship." The girl saw, "What? Can you worship him?" Mother said, "Yes, my dear, what is the wrong with him? See how he is indecent. How can you worship such an indecent person?" Mother is unable to understand. Why are you calling him indecent? Don't you are behaving indecent manner. Why are you calling him as an indecent? Oh, because you see, his off body is naked. He's not covering his clothes completely. How can he be called as God? Now you see, her understanding is if any gentleman or gentlewoman, if you have to meet a call, then he should cover his body completely. He can't be naked like this, half naked or whatever. Then the mother laughed, and afterwards she explained why he's like that and all. Then slowly, it took some time for daughter to understand why Sri Ramakrishna is considered as master or an incarnation of God or whatever. So, like this, all of us, we have got some narrow mind or narrow understandings about the God, about the prophets, about the incarnations, about the spirituality, about the scriptural understandings, about the divinity and whatnot. That is the reason we need an authentic biography with an explanation to study the incarnations. For example, in Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna says, Janma karma cha me divyam evam ye veti tatvatah tektva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sorjuna. O Arjuna, Janma karma cha me divyam. My birth, the sacredness or secret behind my birth and my karma, my actions. Divyam, they are all divine. Janma karma cha me divyam. Yo veti tattvata. Who understands philosophically, who understands the truth behind my birth and behind my actions, which are divine in nature. For such a person, what happens? Tektva deham. When such a person leaves the body, departs from the body, naiti mameti. So he doesn't have any more birth, he will not have any rebirth, Shri Krishna says. So understanding God means what? Slowly, slowly, you'll be able to experience the God. So your quality of life, quality of understanding is both are directly proportional. The more and more you understand the God in a better way, in a right way, in a broader way, that will also have its own effect on your spiritual life, on your emotions, on your attitudes, on your personalities, and whatnot. That is the reason we need to understand Sri Ramakrishna's life with a what do you say, good way of with explanation, right explanation. And also one more thing I want to tell you: for any study, there is a methodology actually. For example, mathematics. When we go to university, we learn calculus, we learn trigonometry, we learn analytical geometry, and whatnot. But if the same thing you would have taught for any children, like at the age of 10 or 11 or 12, definitely they cannot understand, because their mental level, their intellectual level has not not rise to that extent. Or even say 25, 30 years, he has not gone to the schooling and he has not got that training. Maybe he's at the age of 25 or 30. Suddenly you start teaching trigonometry, calculus, analytical geometry. Again, he cannot understand. Though he's 25 or 30 years, but still he cannot understand. Why? The maths training, starting from addition, multiplication, subtraction, division, fraction, all the step by step process has not been undergone. So from your young age, from your childhood to the university, whatever the from starting from addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, fractions, decimals, indices, all the step by step, when we understand, when we learn, then when we come to the mathematical calculations, complex calculations like trigonometry, geometry, calculus and all, we'll be able to understand. So there is a method in our education system to teach maths, to teach language, to teach science, and etc. Similarly, we have got a methodology even in Advaita Vedanta, especially. For example, first we should study Prakarana Granthas, they're called. They're called introductory manuals, like Tattva Bodha, Atma Bodha, or Aparokshanubhuti. These are the introductory manuals. So when we read there, we will understand the technical definitions of each word, and we will get introduced into the way of thinking actually. Then afterwards, one can read Bhagavad Gita, then Upanishads, then Brahma Sutra, that is a logical treatise or whatnot. If when you go step by step, you'll be able to understand things. Suddenly, if you start Brahma Sutra, you will not be able to understand, and rather you will misunderstand. Similarly, we have got a methodology to understand Sri Ramakrishna on the broader sense. First and foremost, if possible, we should try to study Sri Ramakrishna's life in a shorter life or just a descriptive life. Shorter life, then you go to the detailed life, which has got more of stories and less of philosophical explanations. Then you read Gospel of Ramakrishna, where Sri Ramakrishna's teachings has been discussed. Then when you come to Sri Ramakrishna's great master or Sri Ramakrishna's divine play, where Sri Ramakrishna's life explained with the philosophical basis, then you'll be able to understand, you'll be able to comprehend why Sri Ramakrishna is considered as a master, why Sri Ramakrishna is considered as an incarnation, why Sri Ramakrishna is considered as avatar or whatnot. So the moment when we understand all these things, you'll be able to understand him in deeply. Your meditation, your japa will become better, your spiritual practices becomes better. And one more thing, interestingly, one senior monk, by his name was Swami Bhaskareshwaranandji, he writes to one of the monk. While writing, he he mentions about this Sri Ramakrishna's divine play, and he says 2 points. He says Sri Ramakrishna's divine play, or Sri Ramakrishna, the great master, is the best scripture, and it is the scripture of scriptures. Why? Because when you read Sri Ramakrishna's life, and afterwards, if you read Upanishads, especially, you'll be able to understand Upanishads, you'll be able to understand Vedanta in a better manner, in the best manner. After reading Upanishads and Vedanta, again, if you come back and read Sri Ramakrishna's life, I mean, read means again, if you study Sri Ramakrishna's life, then you'll be able to understand Sri Ramakrishna's life much more in deeper manner, he says. That's where Sri Ramakrishna's great master, Sri Ramakrishna's divine play, the book, is the scripture of scriptures, and it is the greatest scripture. Now, when you hear all these things, you may get a question. Swamiji, yes, it's all true, but can you prove it? Is there any way we can understand whatever you are making statements? Is there any thing how we can understand, how can we feel, yes, you are right? Swami Vivekananda's just few sentences I would like to tell how he has explained about Sri Ramakrishna. When you hear such sentences, you yourself you can question, did you feel really? Did you understand in this fashion or in this manner when you read or when you studied Sri Ramakrishna's life or teachings? Swami Vivekananda's quote on Sri Ramakrishna's life and teachings, quote, indeed, Sri Ramakrishna's life was a significant spiritual event of the last century. Sri Ramakrishna's life was 1,000-fold more than his teaching, a living commentary on the text of the Upanishads. Nay, he was the spirit of the Upanishads living in human form. Nowhere else in the world exists that unique perfection, that wonderful kindness for all that does not stop to justify itself, that intense sympathy for man in bondage. He lived to root out all distinction between man and woman, the rich and the poor, the literate and the illiterate, the Brahmanas and the Chandalas. He came to bring about the synthesis of the Eastern and Western civilizations. Indeed, not for many a century past India produced so great, so wonderful a teacher of religious synthesis. The new dispensation of the age is the source of great good to the whole world, especially to India, and the inspirer of this dispensation. Sri Bhagavan Ramakrishna is the reformed and remodeled manifestation of all the past great epoch makers in religion. See now how Swamiji is explaining about Sri Ramakrishna. Again, I've just taken few sentences, 3 or 4 sentences. Now, when you hear all these things, when we read Sri Ramakrishna's life and Sri Ramakrishna's teachings, do we understand in this fashion? Or in this broader way? Or in this such a broad and such a depth? No. At the most, we will get inspired. When at the age of, probably at the age of 14, luckily, by master's grace, I got the first copy of Sri Ramakrishna's life in my hand. At the age of 8th standard, that is at the age of 14. So when I started reading Sri Ramakrishna's life at the age of 14 years, I was really mesmerized. How one person can lead such a beautiful life, which is beyond imagination. Just like any other person, even I was also dreaming about becoming a doctor or an engineer or some officer or whatnot. Once I started living Sri Ramakrishna's life, studying or reading, it mesmerized me. When I finished his sadhaka's life, I mean, as a spiritual aspirant and spiritual practices had finished, and I was going further, it created so much impression on my mind. I should also try my life or dedicate my life at the altar of the service of God. So by serving God and by living a dedicated life of spirituality, that is the real life. That is the best life I felt. Then I had finished the book, a particular book, which is in Kannada on Sri Ramakrishna's life. By the time I had finished, somehow knowingly or unknowingly, mind had decided that I will become a monk and I will dedicate my life completely for pursuing spirituality or God's path or whatnot. So mostly that's all we understand. We get inspired, we get motivated, we may feel more and more faith devotion in the existence of the God, or we may get inspired to do some japa, to do meditation, to do some spiritual practices, or how can we do spiritual practices. We may get most of us. That's what we can understand. But you see, the Swami Vivekananda, how or in what way he's telling is the best epoch makers, he's saying, is the living commentary on Upanishads, he's saying. And his life is much more than his teachings, he's saying. And so many things. And is a synthesis of East and West. And his synthesis of all religions, is the synthesis of all the cults, all the sects, and all the yogas and whatnot. What a deep understanding of Sri Ramakrishna in the eyes of Swami Vivekananda. So when we hear such statements, Sri Ramakrishna's, if you take it as a great light of God, to understand like a sun, to understand it, Swami Vivekananda's life and teachings, Swami Vivekananda's teachings is like a one whole through which we can understand that God. Shardanji's writings, that is Great Master, is one of the a window by which we can try to understand what is God. Holy Mother's life and teachings, or Holy Mother's utterances on Sri Ramakrishna, again, it is one more window by which we can understand God. Direct disciples, probably put together, their teachings is one more window by which we can try to understand what is God, who is God, and whatnot. That is the reason this understanding divine play, reading and studying and understanding is very, very important. Now, if you see, this was written by, as I told, Swami Shardanandaji. So today probably I will giving just an introduction to Great Master only, or the divine play. So I want you to prepare your mind before entering the study. We have to prepare our minds for any work, for any meditation, for any, any task actually. Once beautifully, some monks, this happened in Bangalore, in India, southern part of India. Monks were sitting in the night after supper. We will have called night class. In the night class, monks and brahmacharis, we will sit and we will read 10-15 minutes one book, 15 minutes, 30 minutes or whatever. And afterwards, they try to discuss about it. And young novices and monks, they ask questions about for seniors, or seniors themselves will ask, and they will have a discussions, informal discussions in the monastery basically. So Swami Yatishwaranandji, he was the vice president of the order, and he was spiritual, again, star and realized soul. So he was sitting, he was the head of the center, and he was sitting, and some other monks and brahmacharis, novices all are sitting. Then after reading, Swami Yatishwaranandji just casually asked some of the novices, "How are you doing?" They said, "Swamiji, we are all doing well." "Fine. What about your meditation? Are you able to meditate? How are you able to, are you able to meditate?" Then slowly, one by one, saying, "Swamiji, we have got a lot of work. In the monastery, you have to cook, you have to do dishwashing, you have to clean, and you have to take care of cows some places. So many so much hard work they had to do. And in those days, it was much more. So they said, "Swamiji, we had to do a lot of work, physical work. Because of that, we get tired many times, and we are able to sit for half an hour, 1 hour, morning and evening. Yeah, but the quality of meditation is not good, and because we are would-be monks, and probably we are supposed to meditate more and more. We should have a better quality. So I think it is not happening. It is not happening." So Mitishwanji, first on the lighter side, he makes a beautiful comment. "Look, people keep on saying that work is more, work is more, work is more. But till now, I have not come across a person, at least in the monastery, where a person doing more work and he is dying and he is dead. Because of doing a lot of work, he has dead. I have never come across. If I come across anyone, definitely I will build a monument for him. So stop telling this, I'm doing a lot of work, I have got a lot of work. At the most 7-8 works we all do. So that's all. And 24 hours we have got. So stop telling this." First point, on the lighter side, he said. Second, he said, "Look, okay, we are all working, a lot of work you have got, and all fine. Now, after your work, you are not able to meditate because of work you are saying, but it is not Because of due to work you are not able to meditate. No, it is not, because it is the because of your restlessness of the mind, by which due to which you are unable to meditate. Even same Swami Brahmanji also says, because we do lot of work, lot of activities, because of that we are not able to meditate, we think. He says, no, correct your understanding. It is not because of work we are unable to meditate. It is only because of our restlessness of the mind we are unable to meditate. Okay, fine, fair enough, we can understand. Now he himself continues and he gives a solution, very interesting solution for all of us. What to do now? How to handle this problem? He says, try to spend 30 to 45 minutes to prepare your mind for meditation, he says. Now, the interesting is, most of us, we try to spend our meditation for 30 minutes or 45 minutes, we sit for meditation. And he's saying that spend 30 to 45 minutes to prepare your mind for meditation, then you can meditate, then your meditation quality will be good. My goodness. And in this Swami Tishwanji's case, whenever he wishes, he used to sit and meditate. 5 minutes if he gets, he used to sit and meditate. And there's a very funny story actually. He was a vice president of the order in those days already. He was a senior monk and he was well respected. And in a Calcutta, he goes to one of the dental clinic for some dental checkup. The doctor was unaware of his monk and his stature or whatever. He asked through his workers or whatever, let him wait. So Miteshwanji didn't try that, who am I and whatnot. He said, okay, and he kept quiet and he sat. And it was a quite rush and quite a few people were there. He has to sit now. Now, generally, what we do, of course, now present day is on mobile. We'll be seeing mobile, WhatsApp, and we'll be forwarding message or social media network, or using headphone. We'll be listening to music or whatnot. In the olden days, probably if these were not there, if any magazines is there, we read. Otherwise, we see each other and we start chatting, start making some friends and start chatting, or just killing time. Oh, when I will be called, when I will be called. Interestingly, Swami Tishwaranji, sitting in the dental clinic, waiting for the doctor, he sat for meditation. So when my turn comes, they will call me. So when the doctors call or when the compounder or whatever the assistant calls, let me go, saying that he sat and he meditated in even dental clinic. See how his mind was ready for meditation. So preparing mind is very, very important. That's why. Anyhow, so once our mind is ready, how we can do anything and everything is very interesting. Now, what is this display? That's why I take this example, because to study such type of book, Sri Ramakrishna's Divine Play, we have to prepare our minds actually. When we prepare our minds and when we study, we can get best use of it. Even I say, when you go to any lecture, when you go to any classes, don't go with a blank mind. At least if it has been announced what is the subject topic of the thing, you try to make some homework, read some few pages, or try to understand something about that particular subject, and then you go to a class or talk, then you'll be able to get much more. You read something, have some questions, and go to class, you will get many answers. Otherwise, you go and sit religiously with a passive mindset. We listen some things, we get few points, and afterwards we come back. So we have to prepare our mind for any class actually. Now, I want you to prepare your mind to before entering about discussion or studying of Sri Ramakrishna's divine play. The Sri Ramakrishna's divine play is originally written in Bengali language by his monastic disciple, that is Swami Shardananji. And this work is authentic, factual, descriptive, interpretive, and comprehensive biography of Sri Ramakrishna. Why? Because it was so authentic, because the author himself lived with Sri Ramakrishna for quite a good time. And afterwards, he collected all the facts about Sri Ramakrishna's life from the people who have seen themselves, like from Holy Mother, from other monastic disciples, and other lay disciples, and the villagers who lived contemporary with Sri Ramakrishna, and relatives of Sri Ramakrishna. So along with them, he went and he discussed with them. He got the first-hand information from all of them. And once he finds it is right and authentic, he cross-checked with quite a few people, then only is to write, otherwise not. And when it comes to spiritual experiences like Nirvikalpa Samadhis, Sri Ramakrishna's and all, Swami Shardanji elsewhere, he says that, and whatever I have come to experience, whatever I have experienced, only them I have written in this book. Now, if you read in the third chapter under Sri Ramakrishna's Nirvikalpa Samadhi, the author himself has experienced all of them. And afterwards, he has written all these things. That's why I'm saying that it is very authentic and factual. It is descriptive. It is a quite a descriptive, biography about Sri Ramakrishna. And why it is interpretive? Sri Ramakrishna has taken birth in 1836 in a Kamarpukur in a West Bengal in India. Fine. And when just before sunrise, he was born, and his father and mother came to know, and his father called an astrologer, and they asked predictions. All these facts we can understand. Now, before the advent of Sri Ramakrishna, what was the scenario in India in particular and in the world at large? What was the scenario, and why Sri Ramakrishna's advent was necessary? Why it was dire necessity? Swami Shardananji, keeping the whole world history in his mind, so beautifully he gives a background. And what Avatar Purusha can do it, and how he can change it, what he can do and what he cannot do. All these things he beautifully he narrates, he gives a interpretation. He gives a background. And afterwards, Sri Ramakrishna's every important life incidents, he takes and he interprets. What does it mean? Why Sri Ramakrishna behaved in such a fashion? All these things. That's why it is a interpretive. And it is a comprehensive because it is a quite a inclusive biography. So, and who is this Sri Ramakrishna? Who is this Sri Ramakrishna? If you ask, is the spiritual phenomenon of our modern age. Who is Sri Ramakrishna? Is the spiritual phenomenon of our modern age. And recently I heard, I don't know, but how far it is true, Girish Chandra Ghosh, he asked Swami Vivekananda that, Naren, you saw Sri Ramakrishna very closely, and you have understood Sri Ramakrishna better than all of us. And Sri Ramakrishna spoke with you in person or in privacy for a long time. So why don't you write a biography on Sri Ramakrishna? You are the right person to write about him. And see, now Girish himself was a poet. He was an author of few books. He was a very good literate, literature person, Bengal laureate in those days, very famous person. At a time, he was able to dictate two novels for people. Such a capable person. He is asking Swami Vivekananda to write a biography on Sri Ramakrishna. Interestingly, Swami Vivekananda says, Girish, if you ask me to crush the Himalayas into powder, I can do it by yogic powers. Or if you want to evacuate the water of the ocean, Arabian Sea, Bengal, Bay of Bengal, or Pacific Ocean, I can do it from my yogic power. But please don't ask me to write the biography of Sri Ramakrishna, which is Herculean task, which is not possible for me. And elsewhere he says, because if I am supposed to make Ganapati because of my lack of efficiency, I may end up in making a Shiva or some monkey or whatever. So I don't want to do that by writing a biography of Sri Ramakrishna. And he said, sorry. Yes, this is a standard one, and it is a well-known fact for all of us who have read Sri Ramakrishna's life. One more thing recently I heard, but I am not sure about his authenticity. But Swami Vivekananda added the last sentence, it seems, Sharat, that is Swami Sharda and this pre-monastic name. Sharat has been assigned this job in later, because Swami Vivekananda passed away in 1902. Shardanji started the biography in 1909, writing biography in 1909. Later, Sharat will do this work. This was told by Swamiji, it seems, to Girish. But I'm not sure about this authenticity, but that recently I heard. And interestingly, if you see, a few facts also probably it says yes. Because when Swami Vivekananda was in Europe, when he meets Max Muller, and when they were discussing, they became a close friends. And when Swami Vivekananda mentioned about his teacher or master, guru, about Sri Ramakrishna, Max Muller was much inspired about Sri Ramakrishna. So whatever Swami Vivekananda said, based on that, he wrote a letter. He wrote an article entitled "A Real Mahatman." A Real Mahatman, he wrote. But Max Muller wanted to write a biography much more in detail, probably on Sri Ramakrishna. He asked him. Swami Vivekananda then he asked Sharat Maharaj, that is Swami Shardananji, to collect some facts and other things and to collect some materials and to give to Max Muller so that he can write a biography. Now you see, Swami Vivekananda could have asked anyone else, like Swami Abhedanji, who was much more, philosopher, known philosopher in those times because he had studied a lot Indian philosophy and Western philosophy. He could have asked him, but Swami Vivekananda has asked only Sharat Maharaj, Shardananji only to do this. Probably he was preparing him for his future task. That's what we can understand. And interestingly, Sharat Maharaj, because whatever he knew and he collected some other facts, and he wrote in a form of in a more or less small in a book format, and he presented to Swami Vivekananda. And Swami Shardananji, because of his own reasons, he was thinking, I've given fine, but he will correct it, he will edit it, or he may rewrite it. That's what Swami Shardananji was thinking about his own writing. Then Swami Vivekananda went through. Here and there, some few words he changed. And some very few places he said the explanations are, they are, it has become more. You can curtail it a few places, very few places he said. And afterwards he said it can go directly to Max Muller for the future work. And interestingly, I heard Max Muller took that work. When he went through, it was more or less okay. He added his own interpretations based on the Western audience and the Bible and his own understandings. He added few things, no doubt. More or less, the same book was also brought out even by Max Muller, adding maybe few pages, few chapters, or few lines, or whatever. So here we can understand Swami Shardanji's capability in writing the biography of Sri Ramakrishna. Okay. And if you see, yeah, an author, how much time he takes any book to write? 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, maybe 1 year. More than a year, at least I have not heard from any author who took more than a year to write any biography or especially to write a book, for example, except research work, I mean to say. Now, Swami Shardananji, he started writing this book in 1909 and he finished in 1919. So around 10 years he took to write this book. Imagine. Means why he took so much time? First thing is whatever he know he had put on the paper. Then he collected informations from different sources and he had put everything. And after a few pages, he used to give to Holy Mother itself. Whether is it right or not, please let me know. So every day evening, someone used to read for Holy Mother Sharda Devi, and Holy Mother Sri Sharda Devi used to listen because she herself lived with Sri Ramakrishna. She knows many things, and she knew because she was the first student of Sri Ramakrishna. So she used to, she certified, yes, whatever you have written, it is factual and also it is descriptive and it is philosophical explanations are also quite right. So its philosophical interpretations is quite right. It has been certified by Holy Mother Sharda Devi herself. But in spite of that, he used to give his writings, his pages to two people among the lay disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. One is Golapma. Golapma also spent a lot of time with Sri Ramakrishna, and she had heard many things from Sri Ramakrishna himself, about him, and from his disciples and relatives. And she was the lady, outspoken lady. She was very vocal. She never cared what do you think and all. Whatever is truth, whatever is right, she used to tell on-face people. That's where many times she became bad lady. But this is her strength and weakness, limitation we can say. And Swami Shardanji used that limitation as a benefit, because when I give this thing, so she will be able to tell factual, whether it's factual or not, whether is there any exaggeration, whether is any wrong interpretation, whatever. So he used to get a right assessment from the lady who was very vocal and very open. And he used to give these things to Golapma to get her view. And one more thing, and for one more person is Vaikuntanath Sanyal. He also used to come often to Calcutta, from Dakshineshwar, Calcutta to Dakshineshwar. He lived with Sri Ramakrishna quite a few days, and he used to hear a lot of conversations from Sri Ramakrishna. So he knew much about Ramakrishna's life and teachings and etc. So he used to give and he used to make sure that whether things are right. So that's how everything he has made is so systematic, because he's a realized person, he's a direct disciple, he's a monastic apostle of Sri Ramakrishna, simply he didn't write and sent for press. Instead of that, he made sure that everything is right. Now, how much work, how much labor Swami Shardanji has taken while writing this book, you can very well understand. And afterwards, he used to sit on whoever has gone to Calcutta, Udbodhan, that where Swami Shardanji stayed, very well. It is a small room, and he used to sit cross-legged with a small desk table in the olden days in the desk, and so he used to use the desk for a writing thing in the old paper and a pen nib. He used to sit first. After meditation, he used to go and finish his work and he sit and again he used to meditate, it seems. Half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, or whatever. So whatever he's supposed to write, he used to meditate on that. When every point about the explanation and about the facts, when everything is clear for him, then only he used to put on the paper. Otherwise, he was not. So just he didn't write because he knows language. He has got that language capabilities, abilities. He didn't write. So everything he meditated and he made sure everything is clear for him and he is experienced. Then only is to put on paper. That's where it took 10 years to complete this task. So now you can very well understand how beautiful this book is, how important it is, and how whatnot. I mean, I don't have any more words to explain about this great book. And and also, Sharat Maharaj himself tells elsewhere why he had to write this book. Swami Trunatitanji, one more brother disciple, brother monk, he started, based on Swami Vivekananda's advice, he started a Bengali magazine named Udbodhan. He started a Bengali magazine. And it was going well. He himself was editor. He himself was a, what do you say, he used to work in press, and afterwards he used to go to door for subscriptions and all. So Vivekananda called him and he said, you go to San Francisco and you start spreading Vedanta. Swami Tigunathitanji left for San Francisco. Now no one else is there. Then Swami Shardanji took the work. Because in between, so after Swami Tigunathitanji, in between there was some time gap or whatever, for some reasons, the subscriptions had gone down. Now Swami Shardanji had to see that the subscriptions had to be maintained and had to be risen, and for that he has to write something and he has to collect articles and etc. That's the one thing. For that, he started whatever he was writing about the great master, he started giving in series for Udbodhan. And apart from that, when Holy Mother used to come and if she wished to stay in Calcutta, there was no any dedicated house for her living. Sometimes she used to live in here and there some lay devotees' house. Many times she used to get difficulties. So Shardanji thought it is better we should have own premises where we can house Holy Mother Sharda Devi, so that she will be also free from all problems and devotees also can come and meet her. She will have a care of address. Okay. To purchase a land and to build a simple two-story building, they didn't have money. Then he took a loan from the bank. Using the loan, he purchased a small plot of land and small two-floored building, and Holy Mother was placed there in 1909. Now loan is there. He's a monk. He's not earning any money. Now he has to pay the debt. What to do? He thought, okay, by writing this great master's book, then I will write it and I will publish it. Then I will sell, and whatever the money I get from that, I shall pay the loan. This is what he has. This is what one more reason they say. So now we all speak greatly about these people, but the contemporaries, what they were thinking is very interesting point actually. Many times, Jesus Christ, who was Jesus Christ? The contemporaries, most of them, they didn't know. The contemporaries who were living during Rama's time, Krishna's time, very few people understood. Similarly, in the case of Sri Ramakrishna also. So same thing, during Swami Shardanji also, some of the young novices or monks and devotees, they started making some jokes and mocking towards Swami Shardanji. Because he had got some loan, to clear the loan, he's writing this biography of Sri Ramakrishna. Though may not be bad, but it is not taken in a good sense. One again young monk, his name is Swami Bhaskareshwaranji. When he heard this, he was unable to control himself. Instead of hearing hearsay and discussing with someone, he thought, let me go and directly ask Swami Shardanji straight away and let me get an answer, whatever it is. He approached Swami Shardanji and he asked, Maharaj, I'm hearing that to pay the loan you are writing the biography of Sri Ramakrishna, is it true? Swami Shardanji laughed and he said, "Oh, that is a blame excuse." Yes, I have said no doubt, but that's a blame excuse. Then why you want to write Sri Ramakrishna's biography? Oh, because I'm hearing so many incidents and so many articles I'm receiving, being an editor, I'm receiving so many articles for Udbodhan where I'm seeing from devotees or from others where they're misinterpreting Sri Ramakrishna's life, Sri Ramakrishna's teachings, and Sri Ramakrishna's life incidents. Now, so it is our duty now to put it things properly. Otherwise, in future, there can be many incidents, misinterpretations of Sri Ramakrishna's teachings and misfacts about Sri Ramakrishna's life. That is the reason I am writing Sri Ramakrishna's comprehensive biography with interpretation. So here we can understand why Swami Shardananji wrote all these things. And also one more interesting, if you see, Master Masha himself was very anti or very negative about the service activities which were happening in Ramakrishna mission. Because he was of the opinion that Sri Ramakrishna always said we should meditate and we should practice spiritual practice, we should realize God, and if you have got a time, life, then you can do some service activities. Loka Sangraha. So God relation is the goal of human life, not the service activities. So now the bonds of Ramakrishna Matan mission, they are getting deviated from Sri Ramakrishna's teachings. That was his understanding, and he was expressing his annulment. In 19, I think, in 1912 or 19, around 1912, 13, I believe, I'm not able to exactly remember. Holy Mother visited our Kashi in a Kashi Sevashrama. There, the hospital had started, service activities were in full swing, taking care of poor people, deceased people, and all. Holy Mother visited that monastery and she said, whatever that here Sri Ramakrishna is residing and whatever the activities is happening, service activities happening in the monastery, in this center, it is master's activities. And people cannot meditate all the time. That is the reason Naren, that is Swami Vivekananda, knows this. That's why he started service activities, which is a need of the age. When Holy Mother herself put a seal about the service activities which has been carried out in Sri Ramakrishna's mission, Matan mission or monastery, then Master Masha had to accept. He accepted and he changed his view. So many, even so-called close devotees are the people who lived in and around Sri Ramakrishna. Even many times they were not able to understand Sri Ramakrishna's life, Sri Ramakrishna's teachings in proper way. So there was a Herculean task to explain Sri Ramakrishna's life with facts, factual, objective, and right interpretation, right understanding. This was also very, very necessary. That is the reason Swami Shardananji took this Herculean task. Now, one more question was the same again. This Swami Bhaskareshwaranji asked, Maharaj, now you have written so many experiences and so many divine experiences of Sri Ramakrishna and all. Fine. And I heard that you also have experienced Nirvikalpa Samadhi, transcendental experience. Is it true? Now, Shardananji didn't give a direct reply, but he only said, do you think when we were living with the master in Dakshineshwar, we were cutting grass? I mean, he didn't tell yes. Instead of that, he said, do you think that we were cutting grass there? Means we did spiritual practice by the grace of master. We have experienced all these things. He didn't tell that emphatically straight away, but he said, do you think that we were cutting grass? Bhaskareshwaranji understood what does it mean? What does it mean? But he was again, he was also a very strong personality. He said, Maharaj, please don't give any indirect answers. And I don't mean that, or I didn't mean that you were cutting grass or you were cooking brinjals or potatoes or whatever. I only want to know whether you have experienced Nirvikalpa Samadhi or not. Yes or no. I want a blank answer, black and white. I want answer in black and white. Then Shardanji smilingly smiled and he said, yes, I've experienced. Whatever I've experienced, then after experience only I have written. If I have heard some few other things, if I have not experienced them, then I have not written in this book. Now you can very well imagine this great Sri Ramakrishna's divine play, whatever now we will be discussing in forthcoming days, how it is authentic here we can very well understand. And Swami, one more thing is, I think this was asked, sorry, this question was the last one or two question was asked by Swami Asitananji. Bhaskaraneshwaranji asked about why did you write the, Great Master, Lila Prasanga, and Asitanji asked, did you get the Nirvikalpa Samadhi? One thing, or I think Bhaskareshwaranji. And Asitanji asked one more interesting point. I think, yeah, I'm getting confused, sorry. Bhaskareshwaranji asked these two things. And Asitanji asked Swami Shardanji, we had heard that you have been given a task to write the biography of the master, that is Sri Ramakrishna's biography. So, did Sri Ramakrishna instruct you? Did you get a command from Sri Ramakrishna to write his biography? But Swami Shardanji said, my dear boy, it is none of your business, mind your business. But I think indirectly, of course. But again, he said, please excuse me, I want a right answer and all. Then Shardanji, he agreed, yes. So without any commandment from the master, I have not written, and without any experience, I have not written. That again, Shardananji gave this very clear answer. And Swami Shardanji was the General Secretary of the Ramakrishna Mutt and Mission for 30 years, 3 decades. And in that administrative responsibilities, he has taken this Heraclean task. Now we all say we are all busy, I cannot do this, I can do this, etc. We all say. Now these are the people, how they were able to work. Now this is a way we have to study their life also. And at least we will stop giving blame excuses. Oh, I don't have time. That's the reason I'm not able to do. I'm not able to meditate. I'm not able to study. I'm not able to learn this or whatnot. Now, he being the general secretary of the Ramakrishna Mutt and Mission for entire Mutt and Mission for 30 years, while leading the organization, he wrote this magna opus work. Now you can very well imagine how his mind was concentrated. I will tell one or two incidents about Swami Shardanji's life and his mindset while writing how it was, and afterwards, probably in the next class, after explaining, we will enter into the discussion about the Sri Ramakrishna's divine plan. Now, all these things I'm explaining, I'm giving these narrations are explaining is what? So I'm trying to prepare the listener's mind to enter into that great masters, the book, Magnum Opus, the great book. So when we prepare our mind, when we know the history, when we know about the author, when we know about the objective or the purpose of this authors while writing the book, when you know all these things, probably you'll be able to understand these things in a better fashion, I believe. That's the reason I'm telling all these things. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.